right, fellas. Let's move on to our NFL picks. Let's try to keep it real short and quick. Um, Unfortunately, I've been trying to tell the Commanders for far too long to bench Jaden Daniels, but apparently they don't want to do that. They're gonna let him play. They play in Minnesota. Minnesota actually is a 1.5 point underdog. I don't understand it. I've said it before. Send him out for the remainder of the season. They already out of playoff contention anyway. I don't understand. Marcus Mariota played well in that game against the Denver Broncos. He's been playing okay so far at this point. I don't understand it. You want to risk, you want to jeopardize Jaden Daniels' future? Be my guest. We're going to have to start scratch. And again, I'm not wishing injury. I want to make it abundantly clear. I'm not wishing injury upon Jaden Daniels. And I understand Jaden Daniels wants to play because of the competitive standpoint. But at the same time, Washington, this is your investment. You drafted him with the number 2 overall pick. You want him to play, knowing the fact that he's had 3 injuries, a sprained knee, a hamstring, and a dislocated elbow. You saw what happened in that game against the Seattle game. No, shut him down for the remainder of the season, but you want to do things your way. All right. I go with Minnesota.
Washington, a hard head make a soft. You know what? All right, guys. A hard head make a soft. You know what? Sit Jaden Daniels down. Do not, because you're gonna get that kid hurt, and the fans are gonna be looking at you like you crazy. All right.
Crazy? You mean insane?
I'm being kind. I'm trying to
No,
be.
I'm the hell with that. Now, I know Christmas is around that type of time, but then all of that. You put Jaden Daniels' health in jeopardy, it's gonna come bite you if you
Yeah.
Washington.
Take him out that game. Look, you got a chance to get a top pick, maybe even get. I think they've won like 3 games this year.
3.
Okay, so you have a chance to go ahead and look. Even if you don't get the first overall pick, you get a top 10 pick. That could possibly get you some capital in order for you to help the team. So do what you need to do, and hey, stop playing games. In the great words of 8 Ball to MJG, stop playing games, yo, and get it together, Washington. You don't want to get your franchise player hurt. You don't want to get your franchise player hurt. And I'm not. Hey, I'm a Jaden Daniels fan, and I don't want to see him get hurt, man. Don't trot him out there. His enough. You have no chance to make it to the playoff. That is, it's kind of like spending. It's kind of like going to the casino gambling your rent money. It's kind of like going to the casino gambling your rent money. Walking Jaden Daniels out there, and you have no chance to make the playoffs. On that note, Minnesota.
BRF.
Washington has nothing to gain playing Jaden Daniels. I mean, I might as well make it unanimous as far as that viewpoint is concerned. They have absolutely nothing to gain with letting him play. I mean, it's almost kind of like comparing another situation, like with the Cleveland Browns, clearing Deshaun Watson to practice, and I'm just like, what's the point? I mean, it's no point of letting Jaden Daniels play any of these games for the rest of the season. You're not going to make the playoffs. You have nothing really to gain here. Some people are going to say, oh, well, he needs the reps and that. Like, no, he doesn't. This man was literally offensive rookie of the year last year. He's a proven player. He got nothing to prove. Sit him out the rest of the year. Let him get healthy. Just kind of reevaluate the team, what you need to get better at, what you need to improve on. They have no reason. They gain nothing playing him. With that being said, as crazy as this sounds, I think Washington should win this game. I think Washington should win this game. I don't trust JJ. I don't trust the Minnesota quarterback situation at all. And I mean, Washington, I feel like on offense at least has the camaraderie on offense. They should be able to do something versus Minnesota. I think Washington should win this game.
I just don't understand why they're allowing Jaden Daniels to play, and given the fact that this is Brian Flores' defense we are talking about here. That I don't
I mean,
understand.
you got a point. You definitely have a point there with Brian Flores' defense, but I feel like Washington, with having him back out there, I think they're going to try to control tempo a little bit here. That means they're going to run the ball. Chris Rodriguez, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt.
Merritt.
I think I think they're going to try to control tempo with their running game and not allow Jaden Daniels to throw like 30, 40 times. I think they're going to try to be smart with it and keep the ball out of his hands in terms of throwing the ball.
A game
So
manager, basically.
I think you kind of I think that's what best case scenario. If I'm Dan Quinn and I'm Cliff Kingsbury, I control the tempo with the running game. I don't let Jaden Daniels go out there and try to be a gunslinger. You have to be, if you're going to play him, be smart. Don't have him throw the ball like 40 times and risk him being in the pocket and risking those Minnesota guys to come out there and just lay one on him and knock him out. So I think you have to control tempo here. That's why I think Washington's going to win, because I think they're actually going to be able to, because I don't trust the quarterback situation in Minnesota, regardless of who plays.
Shout out to Sports Guy Talking. Please go make sure you like and subscribe to his content. BRF, we'll try to see if we can get the big fella back on. Dolphins at Jets.
This one is this one's tough for me. Because against the Falcons, I like how the Jets offense looked. I liked how Tyrod Taylor looks. I liked how Adonai Mitchell looked. I mean, how often do you see a player join the Jets and look better? I like what I saw from AD Mitchell Sunday. I think that combination of him and Garrett Wilson, I think can do something. I like what I saw from the Jets. With that being said, though, I think I got to roll with Miami here, just because they're playing. They're playing with a lot more focus. They're playing for Mike McDaniel. You see the confidence with the Miami Dolphins growing. I don't think this is going to be a real high scoring game, but I am going to pick the Miami Dolphins to win this game.
I have Dolphins, champ.
Do I want to be different? Should I be different? I don't want to be different. Miami, bring it home. You still in playoff contention, by the way.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. And look, is it just me or they playing a little bit better without Tyreek Hill? Don't know.
I don't know about that, champ. No, champ. Did you see Tua play last week against the Saints? It looked like he almost threw 4 interceptions.
Well, as a team, they've been doing better since.
As a team, but I'm talking about Tua individually.
Well, turn the ball over. I'm not expecting too much of him. I'm just because. Look, remember what I said last week on? I think it was a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about fashion on the pod. Remember what I said? Just because it's expensive don't mean don't mean it's sharp. That's exactly what that implies for Tua turn the ball over. He expensive, but he ain't sharp. So yeah.
But collectively, the team has been playing well, though, and you gotta look at it.
I like that.
And look, just hand the ball off to Devon Achane. Just hand the ball off to him. Tua, you just hope that he doesn't make any mistakes. Mike McDaniel, but the problem is with Miami. Okay, they in playoff contention. If they make the playoffs, are they gonna keep Mike McDaniel? Because they already fired the GM Chris Grier. And Mike McDaniel, at one point, there was the discussion about him being fired, and we thought, Champ and I, that was the final straw for him in Cleveland after that embarrassing loss on the road. But it seems like to me they're winning. They want to do it for him. But hey, only time will tell. Another interesting game, Steelers at Ravens. Baltimore is a 6-point favorite. I'm going to go Baltimore because their offense so lackluster. Pittsburgh's, except Big Darnell Washington. No one wants to tackle him, man. I mean, he's like a bowling ball whenever defensive players run into him. Lamar's got to play better. He hasn't been playing well since that injury, but I do trust him in this game. And I think the Ravens defense has been playing much better since early on in the season. I'm going to go with Baltimore. I think if Lamar, don't ask him to throw the ball 20 times, 30 times, ask him to throw at least 20, 22 times. Derrick Henry run the football as well. But the defense from Baltimore, you should do something because let's not act as if Pittsburgh's offense is going to light you out.
Hey, look, it's like throwing buckets. It's like throwing sodas in coolers at this point. That's how bored that offense is. And look, man, let's just keep it clear, man. Baltimore's offense hasn't been better. They have been straight out buns as of lately. So over 8 turnovers in the last 3 games. So this is going to be a very interesting game, man. I believe it's going to decide the fate of both teams. I believe if Pittsburgh wins, it's just a tale of two teams that's not going anywhere fast. I believe that if Pittsburgh win, they're going to finish out the season with this mediocre type of way, and they're going to be out of the playoffs the minute that they get in. It's kind of like Homer's granddad. They're gonna step right in the bar, grab their head, and walk right out. So either way, both these two teams are doomed anyway. If you really want me to be honest with you, and like I stated, it's just a case of how doomed that they are. Like I said, Lamar has been playing like buns. The defense is bad. The great words of Lionel Richard, everything seems to be going wrong, and that's just both teams. Let's just see who's gonna suck worse. But I believe the Baltimore Ravens, Uncle Lamar. If there was ever a time you need to turn up, turn down for what? The time is now.
BRF?
Oh man. I think you have to go with the team that's kind of been trending a little more upwards, which has been Baltimore. Granted, Cincinnati did kind of give them a little bit of that reality check, having Joe Burrow back. Lamar just hasn't been playing focus ball, turning the ball over a lot, not making passes like he normally does. I mean, Lamar over the last 3-4 years, I mean, he's normally like a 66, hovering around that 70% completion percentage in terms of his passing. And yeah, I know he's been hurt, but I mean, even still, like he's not himself. And the thing is that Pittsburgh defense, for some reason, no matter how the Baltimore Ravens are playing, they've always been kind of like an Achilles heel, like a kryptonite to Lamar in terms of their style of defense and the way they're able to rush the passer and the speed that they have on defense. But with that being said, I don't trust this form of Aaron Rodgers. I just don't. I don't. I trust this Lamar. I trust this Lamar Jackson more than this Aaron Rodgers, and I am, for that reason and that reason alone, I am picking the Baltimore Ravens to win this game.
Saints at Bucks.
The Yucks.
Tampa should win this going away.
Colts at Jaguars. Indy is a 1.5-point favorite. Daniel Jones is still playing with, keep in mind, folks, a fractured fibula. They didn't listen to what I said. They should hand the ball off more to Jonathan Taylor, but they didn't do that. I'm gonna go with the Colts on this one because I'm still not sure with Jacksonville. I haven't been impressed with them so far. I think sooner or later, I would not be surprised if Houston takes over the AFC South, especially how the way they've been playing defense.
Yes, indeed, man.
Yeah.
The Colts, man. Jonathan Taylor. Hand him. Look, I don't understand. I'm gonna be quick. I don't understand the infatuation of trying to air the ball out like a Steelers fan when you got a running back that is like Jonathan Taylor, man. Keep handing him that ball.
Champ, like you said, is about marketing. It's kind of like you use the analogy. It's like the analogy. Yes, we are diehard football fans, but at the same time, these franchises, they're looking for the pretty and the glamorous things. As far as with the stadiums and everything else. And that's the thing. That's what people just want to see for the prettiness. The casual fans, they want to see the crazy 400 or 500 yard performances. Nah, diehard football fans like us, we want to see unconventional. We want to see different things.
Yes,
And
indeed.
if you want to do it a traditional way by running the football, what's the big deal?
Hey,
It's like
look,
the analogy you told me before. Hey, hey, we are diehard football fans, but hey, not casual fans. They like the atmosphere. They like everything else. They like the food, them wags as you mentioned. But at the same time, if I'm an old school type of guy, and more importantly, if this is the style that is conducive to winning, why go against it? So let me run the football with Jonathan Taylor. See how I use
Oh
that
boy.
against you?
oh man, I
Well, you
love it,
called me
man.
the New Jersey genius. You call me
That's why I
that.
called it the highlight of Friday night. The wags, as you call it. But man, look, run the ball, man. Hey, man, look, an offensive lineman's best dream, and with hey, when you pushing and you ain't got a pass block all day long, that's an offensive lineman's dream. Open up them holes for Jonathan Taylor, man. Go ahead and open them up for him, man, and put him back on that MVP pace because that MVP pace has taken a step back in the last couple of weeks. Put him back on that pace.
Despite Matthew Stafford having a struggling game against the Panthers, I still believe it's him and Drake May for the MVP.
Oh, it's a two.
BRF.
Oh, MVP is a two horse race at this point. 1,000% agree with you. It's Drake May and Matthew Stafford. MVP is a two horse race at this point of the year. But to
Is
this
James
game,
Cook in that race?
huh?
James Cook not in that race?
No, this is a two horse race. No, it's Drake May and Matthew Stafford. I love what James Cook is doing. Don't get it twisted, but this is a two horse race. Drake May or Matthew Stafford at this point in the season is winning MVP. I don't think it's really no ifs ands or buts about it. It's a two horse race. Um, but with that being said, going back to the game, Jonathan Taylor, I think Jonathan Taylor kind of has a he comes back. He reminds the world why he's been the best. He's been arguably the best back in the league this season. I think he has a good game. I think he puts up at least 125 yards because I mean it's not like Jacksonville is coming in with an all world defense, particularly in the running game. I think he gets at least a buck 25 in this game, and I got the Colts winning.
All right. Another game that I'm looking at right here: Titans at Browns. Cleveland is a 4.5 point favorite. Um, I am going to pick Tennessee because I don't because look, Champ and I we discussed this on the Sunday live. Check out the episode Beneath the Shield, and already over 1,000 views. Thank you. Champ didn't want to go into the conspiracy theory that Kevin Stefanski is sabotaging Shador Sanders. He didn't want to go down that road. I did, however, say though is that Kevin Stefanski, you're not giving much of Shador Sanders a chance. And look, when I looked at the game against the 49ers, BRF and Champ, for the life of me, can anyone understand why he decided to go 4th and 1 when you're down 2 and when your defense is playing well in that game? It was only 10-8. And I don't understand why you would go for it in your own territory. You give San Francisco, whose offense didn't really play that well in that game, you're giving them momentum. And with Shador Sanders, yes, champ, we understand the importance of running the football, but if you're trailing, you're gonna have to throw the ball a hell of a lot more than running it. Because if you throw the ball more, it stops the clock, especially if you're trying to come back and trying to win the game. And also, too, Jared Judy, can you please?
Shut the hell up.
Well,
Shout out to Chris Jericho.
I was gonna say catch the damn ball as well.
That too.
And
I
and
think
plus, even though you were frustrated with Shador Sanders on the sideline, and look, Jake Gruden, there were some plays in which he demonstrated on his podcast, the Guild podcast with him, Skip Bayless, Gilbert Arenas, and even though Shador Sanders missed out on some throws, still at the same time, Jared Judy, how does it help when you're yelling on the sideline to your rookie quarterback? You haven't had the type of season you had last year, and if I'm not mistaken, you're right up there in the NFL as far as with drops.
I mean, look, if you're Justin Jefferson, one of CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, one of those guys, you have a right to be. And even with those guys, only thing I've been hearing about in the media is how Justin Jefferson has been talking with JJ McCarthy, making sure he doesn't lose his confidence, making sure he doesn't lose his swagger, making sure that he keeps him calm. That's the only thing that you hear about talking to him. And he's the best receiver in the league. And like I said last week, if anybody has a reason to be frustrated, it has to be Justin Jefferson. He went from 14-3 to being a Super Bowl and playoff contender to now being 4-7. So if anybody has a right to be frustrated, it's him. If you are Justin Jefferson and you're yelling at somebody on the sideline, get the ball to me, do something like that, then guess what? You have that right. You have the clout to do that. However, when you're a Jared Judy type of character who couldn't catch a ball, who couldn't catch a cold in Alaska barefooted, then guess what? You can't say anything to anybody. So guess what? He couldn't catch a cold barefooted in Alaska, butt naked in the snow. So guess what? Be quiet.
BRF.
I was watching a lot. I was looking at some of the analysis of Cleveland and with Shador and how he's been playing. And there was one play that I saw on TikTok that somebody illustrated that really it put in perspective what I was saying early in the season about Shador. The reason why he was getting like a first and a second grade. There was a play. I think I want to say it was they had a bunch formation to Shador's right. They had one receiver lined up at top. They had a running back behind him. It was a passing play. San Francisco dropped the defensive end in the zone coverage and took two of his reads away, and then had Jerry Judy busting out. It was a 3rd-and-3. Had Jerry Judy running an in route, had the first down, and Joker to his left. Basically, all his passing lanes were taken away. A 5th-round rookie quarterback having the wherewithal to see Jerry Judy being able to adjust mid-route to run deep and Shador being able to read that and throw the ball. And even though he didn't hit him, the fact that a 5th-round rookie is making reads like that pretty much says what I was talking about before the draft in the regular season. One of the surprising aspects of Shador Sanders' game is his ability to go through his progressions and go through his receivers and not panicking in the pocket. So Jerry Judy really needs to kind of stay in his lane and kind of get off his high horse. Like Champ said, it's one thing if you're Justin Jefferson, if you're CeeDee Lamb, if you're a guy like that who's year in and year out busting your tail, making plays, and proving yourself. Jerry Judy, outside of last year, you've been pedestrian at best. So you need to keep your mouth closed and let your game speak louder than your mouth. So, but with that being said, though, I'm picking Cleveland because Myles Garrett is an alien. He is an alien from outer space who needs to be stopped, but the problem is you can't stop him. That one play against Trent Williams where he basically rushed the passer and did a freaking Euro step to get past him and sack the quarterback was one of the coolest things I have ever seen in my life. I am picking the Cleveland Browns here because I think Myles Garrett is going to go off this game. I think I do. When they play, I'm expecting Myles Garrett to just absolutely go off. Like, it wouldn't shock me if he breaks the single season sack record in this game. It wouldn't shock me at all. He needs 3.5 sacks to break the record. It wouldn't shock me at all if he just goes off.
If he breaks that sack record in the time, I think it's only 12 games now.
Well, he needs 3. Okay, he needs 3.5 to tie 4 to break it.
Yeah, if he breaks this, he's the undisputed sack leader because he's broken in this game. Damn, you trying to turn me into the Manchurian Candidate again? but but I'm just joking. But but I think that Miles Garrett, if he gets 5 sacks in this game, it's gonna be he's the undisputed sack king. And if he keeps running it up, imagine PSP. Can you imagine if he gets 30 sacks this year?
That may be a possibility. I think 25, 26, he
If
could
he
probably
gets
get.
30 sacks, that is they go drug test him after every game next year.
But unfortunately, he may not win Defensive Player of the Year because again, they're gonna give it to somebody on a winning team, though.
If look, I made this comparison before. Cortez Kennedy back in 1992, his team only won 2 games. He won Defensive Player of the Year. The year that Michael Strahan broke the sack record, I think they only won 4 games during that time. I don't even think they made the playoffs during that time. I have to check. But there's been a lot of players who didn't make the playoffs, who didn't have a lot of team success, but they were so monstrous that they was able to get Defensive Player of the Year. So, look, I think didn't Namde Asamoah, did he win Defensive Player of the Year at one point?
Giants did miss the playoffs in 2001, finishing with a 7-9 record.
Yes. So yeah, and I think let me check. I think Namde Asamoah, he won Defensive Player
I
of the Year.
think he got it one time when he was with the Raiders, I think.
Yeah.
He was a 2-time first-team All-Pro. He was a 2-time second-team All-Pro. He made 3 Pro Bowls, and he won the Wizard White NFL Man of the Year. But as far as defensive player, no.
Okay.
No, okay.
Sorry about that.
No.
But I'll add this real quick. MVP, yeah, but when you're talking about offensive and defensive player of the year, I just feel like it's like who's like I think that's more of like the outstanding player award. I don't think there's a defensive player on any of like the playoff contending teams.
Better than Myles Garrett, no.
No, there isn't. There isn't. They're not sniffing what he's doing as far as overall impact. And I'm looking at all the teams in the playoffs contending. Nah, defensive player of the year is Myles Garrett. I don't think his team success is going to hurt what he's doing in terms of individuality as far as like making an impact week in and week out. Depoy is his.
Look, I hope, champ, they following your advice. You mentioned Cortez Kenny, and you also mentioned Michael Strahan, but I'm afraid they're gonna also hold, hey, Myles Garrett, you could have had a chance to go to a different team, but you decided to stay for the money. You never know. I'm surprised. I don't be surprised, champ. Somebody don't use politics and all that stuff, though. I'm not saying it's right, but don't be surprised, though.
Hey, I'm gonna just be real. We know the money played a role in it, but why do we get on to players for ring chasing? Why do we get on players for not ring chasing, and then get on to them when they do stuff like that? Because the thing is, if he was willing to stay, and he probably could have got the money somewhere else. I know Atlanta would have been glad to give him the money. They would have freed up every damn thing in order to get him.
I don't think he would have made as much money compared to what he had in Cleveland, champ. But nevertheless, he would have made a good amount of money. Yeah, at the end of the day, Myles Garrett, you've been around that organization since 2017. This is now your 9th year with this organization. You've seen how this organization is from day one. Matter of fact, you were on that team in which they went 0-16. Yeah. And you've only managed to go to a couple of playoff games in your career and win a playoff game. For you, if you want to end off your career right, you should have went elsewhere. But he decided to stay for the money. That was his call. He requested a trade. I was like, good for him. Cleveland doesn't need to waste his services. But he decided to stay because of the money. And plus, still to this day, champ, we don't know what's going to happen with this team. And Kevin Stefanski, a couple of years ago, we thought this was the type of head coach for this team. He's a 2-time coach of the year. A few years ago, think of all the injuries that Cleveland had in 2023, but still able to make the playoffs with a Joe Flacco. Yeah. So it's Sad, man, but it is what it is. But unfortunately, speaking of you with sad, because you mentioned your team, Atlanta, Seahawks versus Atlanta.
The 12th man. 12th man gonna win this one.
We know
Look,
you were not going to say forever, I love Atlanta. Not after what happened last week.
no, well, look, go ahead, man. Look, Atlanta, still love you. You still doing your thing. You still my team regardless. I'm still gonna sing your praises if you end up winning. But I don't expect too much of you at this point. It's like, hey man, look, you made all F's on your report card all semester. Why am I expecting you to make honor roll all of a sudden? So no, I just, you know, the faith is kind of gone when it comes there. We were in playoff contention still. I could understand the faith still being there, but at this point, man, look, go out there, don't embarrass yourself. Don't let JSN go out there and just smoke y'all. That's all I ask. But if he does, hey, he's on the road to break that record anyway. Hey, I don't know what to think anymore about my team, man. My team is really, it's very, very disappointing how things turned out. Like I thought it was gonna be one big just, at least a playoff team. But 2 years in a row, it's like it's been sad excuses and false hopes high at this point. And I'm like, hey, I ain't finna set myself up for failure again, man. And look, Atlanta, I still love you. Go out there and give it your best. If you win, I'm gonna sing your praises. If you lose, you're gonna still be my team at the end of the day. Like I stated, man, I know how Cleveland Browns fans feel because hey, I've dealt with losing seasons and going to the playoffs after January. I know after January, my team's season pretty much over. I'm covering everybody else, but I think I think not only do the Seahawks win, JSN gets 250 yards on us, man.
Nah, I'm gonna go 100. You said 250 last time against Minnesota. That didn't work out, and Atlanta still has one of the elite passing defenses in the NFL. So why am I supposed to believe he's gonna go for over 200?
Hey, you never know, man. Plus, I think AJ Terrell's probably out this week, so I got to do some checking on that. But I think
I'll go
he's
check
out.
it out
Let
right
me check.
now. AJ Terrell. It says right here. I haven't heard whether he's gonna solid showing Sunday. No, that's something else. I'm sorry. But there hasn't been a report whether he's gonna be out yet, champ.
All right,
But
well,
all I heard the recent news about the Walter Payton Man of the Year. But
yeah, yeah, Walter Payton Man of the Year, but yeah, it hasn't been a report, but yeah, it's the rumor mill going around, but
we'll see. We'll
we'll
wait
see.
and see.
He hasn't given up a touchdown all season though. He hasn't.
Kind of like how Joe Thuney all year hasn't given up a sack, which is why you said for offensive lineman of the year they'll give it to him.
Yeah, man. I'm glad they're giving away the offensive lineman award.
Well, you pushed it.
Absolutely, man. Look. I
Yeah, we we
know.
we we know we know you shit. We know you ain't got to say it anymore. Quarterback cannot throw behind his back. You've said it. Why don't you?
Exactly.
You're gonna have to start creating a T-shirt for that.
Hey, look. Shout out to my father. Me and him came up with that. So
Hmm.
can't take anything away from my father. He helped me come up with that. Quarterback can't throw on his back. So I'm gonna get that trademarked. So yeah, man. Joe Thuney, no sacks all year. Offensive lineman of the year award.
All right, next game: Bengals at Bills. Buffalo's a 6-point favorite.
Buffalo, you know what to do. You know what to do. Let James cook. Let him cook. And especially against this defense, he should have like 200 yards.
Denver at Raiders.
It's gonna be ugly, but it's gonna be different. It's gonna be ugly.
You know, they barely lost. They almost lost to the Commanders.
Yeah, it's gonna be ugly as hell, but it's gonna be it's gonna be the Broncos. That is the ugliest winning team I've seen since the 2000 Ravens. That is ugly.
Bears at Packers. Green Bay is a 6.5-point favorite.
They playing in Lambeau,
Yes.
Lambeau Field, Green Bay.
I'm going to go with Chicago for the upset
Okay.
because I just think when it comes down to Caleb Williams, look, I am not expecting Caleb Williams to play spectacular, but if he does play good enough, if he can get at least 63% of his passes completed, and if Munga and Swift, I don't expect them to do like what they did to I'm sorry, I don't expect them to do to Green Bay like what they did to Philadelphia. But Michael Parsons, I mean, he may have a chance to win Defensive Player of the Year if he goes on this rampage. You know, he's the first player in NFL history, I think, with 5 seasons with double-digit sacks.
Yeah.
And you want to make a statement for Defensive Player of the Year? You want to make a case right here, especially with a winning team like y'all are, and for y'all to take over the NFC North, this would be the game. I'm going to go with Chicago for the upset because in some unconventional way, they're going to win. We're going to wait and see. We're hoping the BRF comes back on the pod. If not, we'll just continue on with the show. Rams at Cardinals. I think it's pretty obvious. Rams.
LA.
Now this is the big one for me. Texans at Chiefs.
This is why you do not trade star offensive linemen, because they definitely would have needed Joe Thuney against this defense. On that note, Houston.
I'm gonna go with Kansas City.
Okay.
And Monday Night Football, Eagles at Chargers.
San Diego Superchargers.
Eagles have to win this one. Now they're laughing right now because again of the Cowboys' loss to the Lions. But if I'm Philadelphia, don't get too complacent. And if I have to win ugly, and that includes not getting the ball to AJ Brown, because I said it before, champ, since those 2 games, he's had over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. Has he complained?
He's been quieter than a church on Monday.
But if I'm Philadelphia, I want to win. I want to win the division, and I'm trying to compete for a Super Bowl. Run the ball. Not with Saquon Bigsby. And stop asking Jalen Hurts to do much more than what he really should. And it's getting bad for Kevin Patola. I don't know if I sent you this, champ, but you saw some of them Eagles fans. They ate this house.
They
you know
ate this house. He said, look, it was an egg and not a brick. So, that actually happened to a coach at one point. I forget what coach it was, which decade. They actually bricked one coach house. So, yeah, look, it was just eggs and not bricks.